Good morning. Just another day on the Wise Ones channel. Welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Caren, and this morning, I hope you are doing well. Thank you for clicking on It's early. Thank you for joining. It is very early for me. It's probably not too early for you. I don't know. But yeah, today I'm going to take a moment to breathe. And you're welcome to join me if you want to breathe. And I don't know how well it'll go. Just make sure it's safe to do so. I'm not licensed with any breathing techniques and all this other special stuff. I just breathe. And get myself a relax. And the relaxation. Just myself. There we go. I'm like, it's big. No, I want a belly breath. You can't really see the belly breath, but I have to get a big belly breath. And I'm going to hold it. I'm going to let it out. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to breathe in. And then I'm going to hold it. I'm going to breathe out all the anxiety, patience that I have. I'm going to hold. I'm going to breathe in. And I'm going to hold. I'm going to breathe out. I got deflated balloon. I'm going to check, see how I feel. The relaxation, getting centered, allowing myself to be aware of the present time, not what's to be done, not what I haven't gotten done, but the present moment. Just bring that in. It's the people that are like, look at my face technique. Yeah. So this is where we are with the blanket. I just got this way because this way. Okay. Oh, I didn't even finish a stitch. I was in the middle of a stitch. I just went. Okay. So today's podcast, we're just gonna crochet a little bit. I hope I don't like the kids out in the tent. We're just doing camping in the yard this year. Save a little bit of money. Going to do, yeah. All right, there is no money to go camping. There's no money to go traveling. We're putting it all into the vehicles. Yeah, so I have only one tire that needs fixing. It's because the front end needs help. Yeah. It's pretty though. It's all rainbow like. I wonder what colors I'm gonna do after this. But it's sort of like summer to fall, and I might pick some light greens or something. Some pastel greens that would go with this. Depends on what the undertone is and the hues and the Yeah, follow that up. I might just that way it'll look like a seasonal blanket, like if I do, because these are pretty cute summer colors, like summer flowers with a little bit of like yellowish sunshine. It's got like green undertones to it though. The orange, and then the orange, like the pumpkins, and then yeah, I think the next cake that I get or bonus bundle or whatever, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make we're going to do spring colors, spring type greens, pastel greens, and make it all pretty, spring like. So this looks eh, or winter. No, I'm sorry. I might do whites. Yeah. Let's just skip over winter because I don't want the cold. I might do whites. Maybe some blues. Yeah. Wow. No, I'm awake. Oh my gosh. So I'm helping my friend with her house. And I can see it's not functional for the ADHD, And I just know that it's like the wrong environment for a neurodivergent. It won't function. And so I've got to change my environment here, this house, to work on that today. And I keep telling myself I'm going to do that. Maybe if I quit telling myself I have to, and then I want to like get into it. But I'm torn because I also want to do other work and I want to play with the kids. This is boring, tedious work. It's, not everybody is like Marie Kondo, Kondo, Marie Kondo, Kondo Marie. Yeah, there was more to her name. Let me look that up. It's like been a while. All right, let's see what Google has to say. It may be incorrect. No. Nope. Marie Kondo. It is Marie Kondo, Japanese consultant. Kondo Marie. Okay, so Marie Kondo, because we're in the US, so we say Marie Kondo instead of Kondo Marie. Marie Kondo. I could swear she had a longer name. Also known as Kanman, is a Japanese organized consultant. 4 books in organizing. Okay, so I'm doing a different method. And I should probably put my method down and start collecting data and putting it in and organizing the data so it could be seen so that other people can do it. Oh, Marie Kondo quit. Why did Marie Kondo quit? Oh, oh, I mean, she wrote books, she organized people's stuff. She doesn't need to do that forever. She's got her own family life to get back to. She's just, yeah, I'm not going to do it forever after it. All right, so yeah, I should do it at systems here. Should build systems so that it's functional. Like what you do with your morning when you wake up, what you do with, your day. Like your certain days, what you clean. Like I try in my head, I've got these pretty days where, you know, Tuesdays, I work on the kitchen so that when I clean the fridge, I can throw out all the bad food before I go shopping out on Wednesday. Grocery shopping on Wednesday. That way I throw out all the bad food, or I go through and organize, and then, like, Mondays, I clean up the bathroom, and then once a month or once every season, like, I clean and go through the medicine thing and throw out all the bad or all the expired medicine and restock my medicine. It all sounds so pretty. Life don't happen that way when you're neurodivergent for a lot of neurodivergents. I can't say every because there's a spectrum and we know better. We're wiser about this. Yes, yes, yes. So cleaning is on my mind. It is definitely, I can't, no, can't not clean. Because I'm like, it's not function. You can't function. And that's a problem. I mean, you can't get to the stuff you want to do. So, so, so I keep saying, doesn't make any sense if you don't have the content that's inside my thoughts. So I'm thinking about trying to develop lists. Some people like lists, some people don't, but timer lists or commitment lists when we do things. When we don't do things, how we spice things up, because ADHD is like, no, if I keep doing the same mundane thing, we're gonna exit the game. So, but it has to be new and inventive. But yet, the autistic side, or autistic traits thrive, and neurotypicals thrive on routine because it gives you that predictability. It gives you that security of knowing what comes next. Being in charge of, like, just go in there and just cook eggs. I mean, like, if you look at somebody who's doesn't know how to cook eggs, and you look at somebody who knows, who has been cooking for years, they go in and they just get the ingredients together, they get the pan together, and somebody who doesn't know might be like, "Oh, crap, where do I put this now cooked thing? If it keeps cooking, it won't," and they're flitting around the kitchen, and they don't quite know what they're doing, and then yeah, and it doesn't make sense to them, and they're slow, and it doesn't turn out as much because they don't have the experience. But if, like a kid, but you know how to go in, like some adults know how to go in, just clean their room and get things done. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go clean the kitchen." And they go in and they just go do it. So with neurodivergency, we need a different set of training. We need associations. There are lots of us that could use associations. We could use cues, understanding what it needs done and how it needs done and when it needs done. Mm, yeah, the why. The why helps a lot for me. Like, why do this? What do you need this for? When do you need that for? I mean, because and there's other times where all of it needs to be done at the same time, and it's hard to prioritize because you need the cooking, but you need to eat, and you need to get the cleaning done in order to cook, but you need to get the kids, going so that they're not bored bothering you while they're cooking. So you don't get grumpy, so but you still have other things that need done. Then there's the things that you didn't get done that piled up that you need to get done. And it starts to get complicated. But if you have experience, then it begins to get easier. And the parts that you don't know how to say what you did, like you just do it. You just do it, but then autism is like, but how? But what happens when you do this? And what happens when you do that? And why do they do it differently than you do it this way? And why is that, because there's like, some people are like, I've watched, myself included, 3 different people ruin mac and cheese because there were 3 different ways to cook a box of mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese. And there's these differences that people get, like the peanut butter jelly sandwich instructions. Yeah, that get silly, so that show you how to be clear and concise on your instructions. It's fun. How much to and how much do people intuitively do things, and how much do people, well, not intuitively, they need just didn't occur to them. It's just not how we think, operate, or move. Mhm. Yeah, things need done desperately in order to function. So, like, yeah, and if you're like slow to get moving, it's like you miss this opportunity to get it to run smoothly. And even if you get up early, you're like brain fog zombie. Yeah. So, like, how long have I gone with this level of function, less level of function? So I think what it is there's an art to it if you're going to do it with a neurodivergent method, way, practice. So you have to get rid of guilt because that may nip on your heels for a little bit, but then it can just as well become the other double-edged sword where it could stop you from functioning. Or you're like, I feel so bad. Mm. So some things are not. Just lost my cat. Hold on. I lost my. It jumped. Step it correctly, Pop. I haven't stretched yet. It jumped out of the cute little box. It jumped again. It's too late. I have it up here. There. So I might want to address the commonalities that are blatantly obvious or blatantly Like, it's so if you run across doing something can 100,001 times, it gets to the point with the ADHD that we glaze over it, or we glaze and we stop doing the thing. It's sort of like if you had to teach the ABCs, like alligator, like for the 14th year in a row, you might just say A is for alligator, or let's A, or alligator, da da da. You might stop the alligator. You might stop putting certain parts and you might glaze over. And for the one kid, it's vitally essential that it's sounded out, the pronunciation of the vowel or the consonant. That would help them learn. And we have no idea why they just don't get it. But I mean, for like 14 years, just going ABCs, I mean, it's like, yeah. So, beans and stuff. And people just accept it. Oh, this is how it's going to be. I'm like, but why? Sometimes it's important to ask why. Sometimes it's better to live through it and then you get a sort of sense from it, a sort of understanding. The more you go through it, it can't be described. Like, they don't have the skills to articulate and talk about it. But at the other time, somebody else may have difficulty talking about the little steps or the little points, articulating who, what, where, why, you know. So I kept asking my friend, she's like, like, but what do you want out of your house? What do you want this space to do for you? What do you want? I mean, how do you want it? I mean, is that what you want? She'd get this glazed over look on her face, like nobody's ever asked her what she wants, kind of glazed face. Whether or not that's what was going on in her head, she didn't say, so I don't know. But it's like, it's her place. It's got to work for her. She's been catering to everybody else. And it's not working. Um, yeah. So, I mean, what does she like to do with her time? I'd like to be able to get to the arts and crafts projects and get to the fun things. It's just all the prep up to it. And then I'm tired. So, like, I get some things done, and then I'm like, I was going to do something, and I'm too tired to figure out what it was that I was going to do. Like, I know there was a lot, and then right before it needs done, I have to remember, oh crap, I need to do this. Do I really have enough time to do this? I don't, you know. So there's loss and there's sacrifice. and there's adjusting to change. And, like, my environment changes constantly, I mean constantly, the jobs. So, started out trying to build everything around the other halves of life. When we get up, what we eat, what types of food we eat, what we eat, you know, all the types of cooking, the cleaning, being ready and available for everybody else but me. And that's not going to work, but that's just the way, something's gotta give. And, that was a long walk off of a short bridge. So I have to function neurodivergently. I've got to figure out where my spoons are, how many spoons I have for the day. So, yeah. So now, like, I just lost Fridays with my fiance because his job's good. He's like, now we're doing Fridays. I'm like, oh, okay. So his job changes, his schedule changes. So I'm trying to stay consistent, get up at the same time, and figure out when I go to bed, similar time, how much sleep I actually need, and where and when my rests are, how much travel I do. Try to get things ready because the summer is different than the school year. And I think the biggest thing is to learn to listen internally versus externally. Like, what do you need? What do you want? How do you want to go about doing this? And people, like, oh, did I do a good job? Versus, oh, you like the job that the good job that I did? I think what I also want to learn is what is real leadership? What is real, you know, way of taking charge without being a type A, as they put it, or people who are, very loud, forceful, dominating. Because that's a temporary solution. It doesn't work very well. So I'm trying to figure out a more long-term solution that works better. I'm trying to think how people throughout time manage to do stuff. Like, where did we get, you know, how clothing works, how food works, where we get meat? Because I'm thinking people that starved and lived in places where they could just have an abundance of foraging food because they just couldn't get food for the market. I don't, how to gather food, how there's food around. I don't understand. Like, but you have so many resources out in the middle of nowhere that you don't know that you have, so they don't know to utilize all these beautiful resources. Let's see what we got here. That's what bothers me is when they've got 101 gorgeous resources and they don't know how to use it. They can't use it. Let's see if we could do the edge because I'm not counting. Let's see what we got here. That looks relatively straight, or did I increase? Somehow. I don't know. What did I do? Look at the way the stitch goes along here. Like here, where I put this, the top, the stitch above it, the half double. Why does it look like double, half? So it look like double, half double. A half double looks interesting. That is the most interesting. Where I like that looks consistent. Like I consistently put them in here. Here we go. Those are consistent. Where I put the stitch, the front or the back stitch. And then here I just kind of like, I don't know what this is. It looks funny. So what we eat, and we eat, keep it sweet. When we clean, the way we clean. Alright. That took like a half hour to crochet all that. This does look like fall color stuff. I think I finished that stitch this time instead of starting in the middle of another stitch. Just look okay. Don't lose the crochet hook. Like it's so cute and it's so pretty and it wraps up. It's not as big as it needs to be because I want it to be able to fit my bed, and I think my bed's a queen size. So I'm expecting several people on boyfriend broke it up at the time. Now we're getting I'm trying to grow oyster mushrooms. There's that indirect light. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see what happens. Blue oysters. They'll be fine. Uh, I picked up a whole bunch of vegetables and fruits, so I'm gonna have to cook with vegetables. I think it's not bad. The Flash Food app. It's a store that has the Flash Food app, and it's where they take their food that needs to be sold that day just before it expires. Like it's going to expire tomorrow, or it's overripe and they can't really sell it. And you have so before they throw it out, they give you a chance to buy it discounted. So I spent it's like basically $5 per box type thing. What he spent. Well, the price varies depending on the contents, but he spent roughly $5 a box. I got like 4 boxes, and then he bought some other stuff. You can view the stuff, and then you can purchase it on the app, and then go and pick it up. And so I bought like $20 worth of food, and it's like all this food that needs like used up. So I'm going to cook this morning and put it in a jar, like cook a soup and put it in a jar and just have soup days. Cloud tower. I'm trying to think, when would we have the soup? But it is definitely soup days where we could just do a microwave meal or microwave soup. The kids, And so yeah, I don't know. We'll just do a bunch of potatoes. Gotta get rid of the old potatoes. So I'm gonna go do mashed potatoes and then make gnocchi. Do some mashed potatoes this morning. In the slow cooker, pressure cooker, like steam rice cooker. Maybe a rice cooker. What's the best way to mashed potatoes? And then that way for dinner we'll have gnocchi and I'll just be able to, heat it up. Like it'll be, yeah. And then figure out how to preserve. And we also have the dehydrator. We can do the dehydrator. We can do things like that. Okay, I'm going to. Alright. My hair. My hair is getting now to the point that it's going down the road. Does something where it hooks you in the eye. So yeah, put in the out kind of like just the back. So yeah. So I'm really gonna focus on taking care of me, taking care of my health, and then from there, that point, that's like a core point. So I'm trying to figure out core points or core ways, methods, and then from there, building up on, how to do things. It's like, so the core is just take care of the body, and then from taking care of the body, and the mind, and the spirit, or taking care of this, the spiritual stuff, which helps, the mind be, how what they call it, the nervous system that goes from fight or flight to rest and digest or shutdown. It's got like 3 or 4 different modes. So if I can get myself into spiritually, get myself into the rest and digest, and mentally get my thoughts there. So when you're in a mode of rest and digest, the way you think, the type of decisions that you make, and the results of those decisions that you make tend to come out better. So like the breathing exercises, similar. There's more to it. Like you can tap your chest or tap your body or allow your body to, that gets you into the present. Because in your mind, when you're anxious, anxiety is the future, thinking about what could, if, the ifs, the what ifs, the buts that can happen. Causes anxiety, the anticipation of what's coming, of the uncomfortable stuff that's coming. That's a bit of anxiety to me. And then depression is the weight of what was. So if you could stay in the present, in the now, you're not in a situation that causes you to shut down, make decisions. I mean, just bring yourself present. That's what I've been doing. I've been trying. Let's see how that works for you if you like it. That's not the easiest. Yeah. So yeah, I've been learning on this journey. Yeah, it's not easy. So talking to a younger me or a me that didn't know. Yeah, I was the younger me that wanted out. I just wanted out of the whole life because everybody else was pretty much saying how or implying how it's all my fault, it's all messing up, and it's all and that if it wasn't for the fact that I was so bad at it, it'd be better. You know, if I wasn't so bad at existing, their life would be better, and that I'm the problem. Those, what do I tell the younger me? That's not true. But you can take up space, and life will be better, and their life will be more enriched if you take up your space. And you let them learn how to take up their own space, and it's what's bothering them that they're talking to you, and that in your own hand you can't only tell people what they're doing wrong without the consequences of them feeling like you did subconsciously. They just don't get it. A lot I notice a lot is that I move in my subconscious. My subconscious and my consciousness really work as one, and that's they try to speak and communicate with each other, not just dreams. I try to stay intuitively understanding what my subconscious is trying to tell me, why I'm drawn to certain things, or why I'm trying to avoid certain things, or what's going on that's causing a physiological response that consciously, like, I'm fine. Why would I be upset? Why do I think, why am I acting like danger is coming? Oh, that's a trauma response, whereas it's because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you're waiting for the bad things to come after the very, like when I think it's very mean that if you're going to tell your kids that you're splitting up, you give them their favorite pizza or their favorite meal, and you take them to their favorite spot, and you get them all like, oh, this is the greatest day ever, and then you deliver bad news that way. To me personally, my experience, that 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 shoots them up, that when things are going great, that means that something terrible is about to occur. That's what we learn subconsciously. So when you have an experience and then you have, another experience with similarities. So I try to understand my experiences so that or understand how I perceive my experiences and how I feel about my experiences. And then from there, I go on. And so that makes it a very deeper, richer experience. And I'd like others to be able to enjoy a deep, rich experience for them if that's their thing, if that's what's good for them, if that's something that they want and desire and need. And yeah. So I'm going to try to work on my health and make it available for the kids to work on their health or to show them what they can do for their health. So I also have to know that I can't do it the way the typicals do it, and I can't imply things. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. I wish it did. But yeah, tomorrow is Sunday, so I get all spiritual. I don't do a podcast. I do just the regular YouTube. I try. It's on my wise one playlist. If you want to find all the spiritual stuff that I get into religiously, yeah, it's all connected. Mundane to the highly evolved nirvana experience, where you're one with your higher self and the higher power that is the divine, the great divine. Yeah. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. You can access, you take up space, and you're okay. We love you. Trying to think here. Is there anything else I am missing or forgetting? I can't think of it. Yeah, so. Love you guys. Love you. I love you. I love you all. Until next we meet, have a good one. Bye-bye.